Hey guys, this is Jim, WT1W, and you're watching FEPLabs Radio. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Today we're going to take a look at the Retevis RA-79. I bought this on Prime Day on Amazon. It was $17. And I thought for $17, I can put up with a lot of quirky operation. We'll take a look at it. We're going to put it on the spectrum analyzer. Before we do that, I want to take a quick run through of some of the key features of the radio, and then we'll see what it looks like on the SA. So to start with, this is pretty cool. It comes with a programming cable. I didn't have to buy this extra. And if you've ever bought a programming cable for these radios, you know they run about $15 to $20. So bonus, this whole thing was $17. Of course, the radio, a battery, an antenna. The charging situation is a little strange. This is a USB brick, and then you have the charging base. So the radio itself does not appear to be able to be directly charged that I can tell. We'll take a look at it. It has a USB port. It has a USB-C port, so it can be USB-C charged, I would imagine. And then of course there's our Kenwood port, USB port, Kenwood port, yada yada. And then over here we have our PTT, and then separate function buttons that we can actually use. And those are just cutouts. So you turn it on, it has the typical Baofeng menu style menu, gets you into the menu, and the little lady talks and you can scroll through everything. It has a backlight. I've disabled that for the video because if I turn on the backlight, the camera can't see anything. It does, of course, DCS tones, PL tones, CTCSS, all the tones. It will scan. It has multiple scan lists. It has a flashlight that I have somehow apparently turned on. It has NOAA weather radio built in. It also will pick up FM broadcast. The default frequency range on this guy is 2 meters and 440 standard US ham frequencies. One of the features of this radio is that it's very hackable. There is a lot of support in the ham community for alternate firmware for this radio. This looks like a Quansheng K5, very similar to it. This is Retevis branded. So I have hopes that this is a clean radio, and we'll take a look at that. It comes, of course, with a wrist strap and a belt clip manual. And if I had one complaint about this radio so far, and this isn't showing up on this camera very well, it's getting washed out, but the print is tiny. It is small print on this. And it goes through and explains what all the menu items are in detail, how to disable them, turn them on, so forth and so on. It does Vox. It has squelch tail on and off. You can turn off, of course, the beep for all the menus. It has a timeout timer for when you talk, so it'll quit keying up if you're windy. Multiple steps for the frequency setting. Of course, I already talked about the tones. It will encrypt. It is not DMR. It is just FM. You're not supposed to use encryption anyway. It's probably just something like voice inversion encryption. And I say the encryption with air quotes on that. This radio also can get rid of repeater tails. That's all scanning, DTMF. It does MDC ID transmit. It will also listen on AM as well in the 2 meter band. Well, actually 108 to 136. It will go to AM channel mode, mentioned in NOAA weather radio, and of course reset. You can set a power on password. A bunch of typical kind of features for an HT. Let me get all this out of the way. Let's set up the spectrum analyzer and let's plug this thing into the SA and see what it looks like. Okay, I've gotten my big ugly face off the screen and we are looking at the screen from the Sigland SVA 1015X. So we are on low power, and if we key up, you'll see there's a red line here on the screen right across there. That is the minus 16.02 dB line right there. And we will like to not have any harmonics above that, and then they need to be more than 43 dB below the amplitude of our primary harmonic. So those two conditions need to be met for this to be clean. Okay, so we are on low power, and we're looking to make sure that nothing is above our red line and that it's 43 dB below our primary. So when we key up, you can see that we have that second peak at -13, which is higher than -16. So it is just barely not good there. If we math this, you can see the difference between these two is going to be more than 40 dBm, excuse me, below the primary. So 31 to 0 is 31. Add another 12 or 13 to that. We're up to 45 to 46 dB below the primary. All right, let's jump to high power on VHF and take a look at this. And on high power, 36.5.6 dBm for total output power and -12 dBm on our harmonic, which again is higher than -16. So technically this is not passing the FCC specs. That's on high power. I suspect medium power is going to be somewhere in the middle of all that. So what did we learn here? Well, the radio technically failed. However, it barely failed. We were seeing -10 to -11 dBm of output power. So what does that mean? Well, there's only one harmonic showing up. So that's good news. That's great. That's not bad at all. The harmonic was more than 40 dB below the fundamental. And I think several times in the video I said 43. I have no idea why. I have not been drinking Miller Lite, but it's 40. 97.307 item E says 40 dB below the fundamental frequency and not greater than 25 microwatts, which equals -16.02 dBm. Same thing. So we had -12 dBm of output power on that harmonic, but it was a good bit more than 40 dB below the fundamental. So that's good. What does that mean, really? Well, -12 dB of output power is something like 60 microwatts, something like that. It's not much. 0.06 milliwatts, which I think is 60 microwatts, math in zeros. So it is a tiny amount of power. And I seriously doubt that you could hear this harmonic more than an inch or two away from the radio. Does it meet the spec? No, but dang, it's just so inconsequential that I don't think it matters. T.O. and I, temporarily offline, and I have had this discussion more than once about radios in general. And my comment has been in the past, I would be concerned that a harmonic of 2 meters punches up into, say, the public safety band. T.O. said he can't find any police department or public safety organization listed in radio reference that's using the harmonic frequencies of 146.52. I don't know how exhaustive his research is. I looked around, I couldn't find anything either. However, I don't want to use a radio that is blasting out harmonics up in the 70 centimeter band. So this radio doesn't do that anyway. It's at 293 is where the harmonic is showing up. And at -12 dBm, it is such an insignificant amount of power, like I said, that you probably couldn't hear it anywhere. To give you something to compare that against, the Wi-Fi in your house is about 25 milliwatts. All right. And you know, the Wi-Fi in your house don't reach that corner room where you try to surf the internet all the time on your iPad. So we're talking an order of magnitude less power than that. So T.O. is right. You're not going to hear this anywhere. You'd have to have the radios touching almost for that low amount of power to make a difference. That being said, for $17, I got no complaints about this radio. It does the radio thing. It has a lot of cool features. I believe this can even clone itself across over the air to other radios, and I think it has Bluetooth. I didn't buy it for all those features specifically. I bought it because it was a $17 radio and was something fun to play with. And I will probably load up the alternative firmwares that are available for this radio, because that's one of the main reasons I grabbed it. There's a whole bunch of different firmware you can load on this, including stuff that lets you receive HF. Now, how well this HT is going to receive HF on a rubber duck antenna, Your mileage is definitely going to vary with that. But it's a play toy. And for $17, I thought it was a super stupid great deal that I could not pass up, because Lord knows we all need yet another HT. In any case, guys, that's all I've got in this video. I hope you got something out of it. If you would, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It helps feed the YouTube algorithm so that you and other people can find the videos I do. Make sure you ring the bell. All that stuff's in the description area below. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. 73.